Thought the end of the first half, the game got away from us. Then the second half, we gave up 50 points. We got killed on the glass. We gave up 14 offensive rebounds on about 30 missed shots. So they got about half their shots back, which has been a problem for us most of the season. Chris Likes killed us in the second half. Tony hurt us in the first half. I think Tony had hit 6 threes all year coming into the year in SEC play. Hit 2 tonight. He's really been a thorn in our side. At Arkansas, he did the same thing. So, look, I mean, got to face the music. Arkansas is just better than us. Beat us 3 times this year. Just flat better than us.
All right, we'll take questions for either of the student athletes. Raise your hand, and we'll get a microphone to you. Hands up. Go ahead.
Darius, it seemed like y'all were kind of hanging with them. They went through a tough stretch in the first half, and then it kind of got away from you. In the beginning of the second half, what went into that in the beginning of the second half?
Basically, they were just making shots, getting second chance points. They was killing us on the offensive glass as well. And, second chance points hurt us, and we just didn't execute.
Raise your hands. All right, let's come to the middle in the front.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm talking too loud. You guys obviously are a really good team. You've had a great year. What is it about Arkansas? And obviously those first 2 games could have gone either way. But what is it about Arkansas that you think makes it a tough matchup for you guys? Maybe Brandon and Darius next.
I think all I have to say is they just played harder than us. Like, honestly, it's not from. I don't think there's really like a matchup difference. I don't think there's anything that's hard for us. I think it's just. I think a lot of the times we beat ourselves. So I think they just played a lot harder for us that time, and they just got the best of us.
I'm going to piggyback off what B said. They played harder than us, like, majority of the game. And, like I said before, we just wasn't executing. They was hitting tough shots down the stretch. And, we cut it down to 10 a couple times, and we just couldn't, overcome.
Hands up. Other questions for either of the student athletes? Okay. You'll go back to the middle.
I don't know how high Chris Likes was on the scouting report. I'm sure he was below guys like Note and Williams and Tony. But what'd you guys think of him, the little 5'7" guy? He went on that 6-0 run at the end of the half, and then he had, I think it was Moani, hit a 3 to make a 9-point game. You guys are hanging in there, and then Likes scores, I think it was 7 straight points.
Is that for both players?
Yeah, or whoever wants to take it.
Well, let's go to Brandon.
Okay.
Let's go to Brandon.
Brandon's good.
I mean, we treat everybody the same way on the scouting report. It's like we're not taking nobody lightly. So, I mean, we knew he can come out there and do what he had to do. It's just, like I said, he was just hitting shots. So it wasn't really like nothing that we could sustain. It was just, we was just doing our best. He was just being a basketball player.
We got time for 1 or 2 more for the student athletes. Anyone?
Goodness, Bob.
Anyone else? All right, let's tell you what. Let's go to the back. There's one question, then we'll finish up with one question from Bob.
Darius, you guys are kind of in a similar situation where Arkansas was last year after you beat them in Nashville, and now you find yourself just kind of sitting around waiting until the NCAA tournament selection show. What are you guys going to do between now and then to kind of galvanize and get ready for kind of the next set of postseason play?
A couple of guys want to go back and rest. Most of the guys want to, take a day or 2 off and then get back in the gym. And, we're going to start practicing and getting ready for the NCAA tournament. But, like you said, they did the same thing last year. We're definitely going to go on a run. More than likely, we're going to be a 5 or 6 seed. So, we're excited. And, Coach's going to do the best of his abilities to get us ready. So.
All right, last question. Right here in the front.
I'll make this one for Darius. I mean, you guys beat them on the boards really bad in Fayetteville. I think you had 22 offensive rebounds. Today, they fought back and rebounded pretty well. Did you get a different sense of urgency from them? Why do you think there was such a difference in the rebounding in Fayetteville and then today?
Like me and B said before, they was just playing harder than us. They wanted it more than us, obviously. So, you know, the difference on the glass, you know, the proof is in the pudding. So, I mean, it's not too much to say about that.
Thank you. We'll excuse the student athletes back to the locker room. And we'll continue on with questions for Coach Wade. Raise your hand if you have a question. Let's go ahead and start right on the middle aisle.
Well, y'all had been getting better offensive performance, but today Arkansas missed 13 shots in a row, but yet you only outscored them 7 points in that stretch. Was that kind of a key to not separate a little bit there?
The key to the game was when Note went out with 2 fouls in the first half, and we couldn't stretch the lead like we needed to. That was the whole key to the game. When he's out, we have a chance. And look, we can't play from behind by very much against Arkansas, because when you do that, you have to do what we did today, which was extend our defense. When you extend their defense, the guards just drive right by you. And so you have to get your defense set with your heels on the three-point line and be able to keep it close where you can press and then get the defense set. We had to extend out because we were down by so much, and then we just get driven. You know, just get driven. But we wouldn't have been down so much if we'd have executed better. You know, we had some turnovers. We had three out of 4 possessions in that stretch where we turned the ball over. We just did some things you can't do. You have to keep it within a working margin, and when it gets out of that working margin, you know, it's hard for us to come back against them.
Raise your hand. Other questions? All right, let's come down to the middle front.
Will, what happened on the technical? Did you feel like you earned that one, or maybe that was a quick whistle? And how do you think that impacted the game?
Well, I asked him why there was 20 on the shot clock, because there was 22 seconds left in the half. There was 20 on the shot clock. I found out afterwards it would go black if we got the rebound. It'd be 20 if Arkansas had gotten the offensive rebound. All I did was ask whether there was 20 seconds on why there was 20 seconds on the shot clock. I swear to God, that's all I did. I promise you. Now, whether you think that deserves a technical or not, that's for your interpretation. Now, before that, it's pretty good. But the last straw was, yes, I asked why there was 20 seconds on the shot clock. So you can interpret that how you will.
Maybe it was a retroactive.
May have been retroactive. That may have been. Look, I think Joe Lindsey's a hell of an official. He should be in the Final Four. He's the one who teed me up. I think he's a great official. I think he's one of the top officials in this league. He'll probably work the championship game. I think he's a great official, and I'd take him on my games anytime. But it's the way it worked today.
All right, let's go back to come to the middle aisle in the well, we'll come right back to you.
Y'all did a pretty good job on Jalen Williams and also Mude in the first half, and I think Note only had 5 points. Did you feel pretty comfortable at that point with holding those 3 down?
No, I thought we should have been up at half. Like the last 3 or 4, we didn't score for the last 4 minutes of the first half. We didn't make a basket. We didn't make a basket for the first 4 minutes of the second half. We went like 8 minutes without making a basket. We hit a couple free throws, but you know, our offense gets that stagnant. Our defense can't hold that long.
It was a 19-0 run.
Huh?
It was a 19-0 run.
There you have it.
Okay, down the front.
Did you feel like there was any fatigue left over from playing yesterday? Any kind of hangover or anything like that?
Not really. I mean, we had to play some guys some major minutes, but I didn't sense that. I thought Arkansas was really fresh. I thought they were ready to go. You know, they'd had 6 days off. I thought they were ready to they were ready to go. But yeah, I didn't really sense that.
Other questions for Coach Wade? Raise your hand. All right, let's come back to the middle right here.
Claude, I think I'm setting a record for assists.
You're the John Stockton of the SEC. Will, that players obviously get excited, but the Tony dunk at the end of that bother you? And I think Eric might have been trying to say something about it.
You can't let it bother us when they whip our ass 3 times.
And
I
then
mean, it is what it is. We should have stopped. I mean, look, we turned them. I mean, it is what it is. That stuff, I don't let that stuff bother me.
And then Likes, he's kind of been up and down. He's had games where he didn't do much, and then he's had some games where he scored a lot. What did you guys expect from him, and just what did you think of his?
He's a good player. I knew him. I've known him since he was in high school. He visited us when I was at VCU. So I've known him a long time. When I was at coach at VCU. His grandmother actually lives in Richmond, Virginia. So I've followed him. I know he's a dynamic scorer, very, very good player. And, you know, he was on the scout. And, you know, look, he really hurt us.
Got time for a couple more, anyone? I think I see it. You got a hand up in there?
Come on, Sheldon, then pass it to the guy
There you
behind
go.
you, and we'll
Okay.
get out of here.
Eric Musselman was asked about the technical foul, and he said he probably gets more than you. But did you feel? He said it was only 2 free throws. So do you feel it was a big factor in the run by Arkansas?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a momentum. I thought it was a momentum play. Like I said, usually if I want to spur our team on, I intentionally, like at Alabama, you were there at Alabama. They didn't even want to tee me up, and I ran out at half court and got in front of the guy to make sure I got my technical. Like, I wasn't trying to pick one up. I wasn't trying to pick that one up. So
who gets more, you or Mus?
I don't know. What do I have this year? 3 or 4? 4 or 5? Ask Bob. He probably has a stat.
I think Eric got 4. He got ejected against Oklahoma. So.
Oh, well, that's 2. You got to take mine off. I got 1. We were up about 30 on Louisiana Monroe, weren't we? I got 1 when we were up 30 on Monroe. That's hard to do.
Last question in the back.
Huh? I can't even remember what it was. It was on the other end. I was right, though.
Coach, I
Sorry.
wonder your thoughts on this conference, kind of talking to Darius about Selection Sunday and, how much
listen, the league is tremendous. Hopefully after today, A&M will get in. I think they should have been in before today. But what they've done to lose 8 straight and come back and win, 7 of 8 here down the stretch, we played them twice, and we're very fortunate to beat them both times. I think Arkansas split with them, if I'm not mistaken, and lost at A&M. And, I mean, damn, Diarra had a shot on the basket at Arkansas game at Arkansas, I believe, went to overtime. Yeah, I mean, A&M's a tremendous team. They're tough out. They're playing their best basketball. They get in, that'd give us 7, right? We got 6 of us pretty solidly in. You know, look at the seedings. I mean, Kentucky, if they win the thing, they'll be a 1 seed. They're at worst a 2. Auburn's probably a 2 after today. Tennessee's probably going to be a 3. Arkansas is probably going to be a 4, right? We'll be a 5 or a 6. Alabama will be a 5 or a 6. So it's not just that to tell you how good the league is, all the top 6 teams, so to speak, are all going to be in the top half of the bracket. There's not one of us is even on the bubble. And we're all on the top half of the bracket. And then you got A&M, who is really, really good. I think Florida's very good. I mean, look at, A&M made that run after today, but, it took overtime to beat Florida. And I think Florida's very good. I think we've got some really, really good teams in the league, and I think we're going to have, 3 or 4 teams that make the Sweet 16. I think we're built to advance out of these things, and I think our team's certainly capable, and hopefully one of those that can do it. But Arkansas, Auburn, Kentucky, Tennessee, they're all Alabama. I mean, I know their resume is all over the place, but, look at their top-end wins are as good a wins as anybody has in the country. And so I'm very hopeful A&M will get in. To get 7 in out of 14, that's half your league that gets in, which is absolutely phenomenal. And then you'll have another 2 or 3 in the NIT, so you'll have 9 or 10 teams in postseason play. So A&M deserves to get in. They deserve to get in, not just because they beat Auburn today. They deserve to get in before today. But I'm hopeful that they'll get in. And the league's good. Everybody's got good players. Everybody's a good coach. And the league is really, really tough.
Football might be over this season, but basketball is in full steam for both pros and college hoops. For all the latest odds, totals, player performance props, to where the next fired coach is going to land, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your sports betting needs. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's promo code BLEAV. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline is your source for for hockey, boxing, and UFC odds right to the Olympic coverage is the best in the business. From sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, BetOnline is your #1 online wagering destination. BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports and play your favorite games. BetOnline, where the game starts.